Welcome everybody, you're watching Mr. Fugu Data Science. Today I would like to discuss and discover all of the names stored on your Mac device. Feel free to reach out with video ideas in the comments section below or leave a comment to help the community learn further. Let's get started. I would like to go over what are the different names in your Mac, describe with terminal commands as well as go through system settings. Describe to you what is SCUtil. Want to remember what different names are for your Mac? Some are used to display and reflect sharing apps or network connections, while others are for referencing admin data for an account. For example, your username can be found by typing "who am I" in the terminal.
This same username is the one that you have at login. You can do ls/users to get the same thing, but it'll show you that this is shared. We can also do open/users. This will grab the folder that stores the information for your login credentials as this user. Do not mess around and try to change the names of these arbitrarily. If you have conflicting reports for the name for this folder and the username, you will get yourself locked out of your account. If indeed you want to change this, you need to create a separate admin account to log in first before you mess around with these. I will not cover that today. It's not something you should take lightheartedly because there are consequences if you do it wrong. Now, your username and the Apple ID are not the same thing. Your Apple ID is separate. It's used for payment systems online, like if you had a wallet attached, downloads and updates for applications, for example. If you needed to use the cloud for storage through Apple, this is different than the user account for the laptop or desktop or whatever you have. When you set up your device, for example, it's just me. That name that you're seeing is the admin account, and that admin account is the name that I provided when I set up the device initially. Now, we also have something separate, which is called a computer name. We can find this in two different ways. This, if you see, the name is different. I'm gonna have to block out some of it, but it's saying that this is my MacBook Pro. This computer name is used when you're used for sharing, such as AirDrop, connecting to your local network, Bluetooth, or Find Your Mac. We can find this also if we go up to the Apple symbol, System Settings, go to General, go to About, and you'll see the same name here. We have something also called a localhost name. By default is the computer name, unless you change it. And I changed mine just to illustrate this. This localhost name now is different than what it was before. We can find the localhost name by going to System Settings. We go to General, we scroll down, we go to Sharing, scroll down, and you find it here. Can I make this bigger? Next, we have something different, and that's called the host name. And this one shows an IP address, but that's different than this from the SCUtility function looking for the host name. Because if you see here, it's not set. And you'd ask yourself, why is there a discrepancy here? And I'll have to get into that in a second.
There's a few things that we should investigate while looking at the host name because this is a network identifier. Using the SCUtil get host name, returned, not set. This can mean that macOS has not configured it yet, and it's at a default setting. You may need to set this if you're performing remote access or trying to connect to a network. Ethernet connections can cause this as well. For instance, this is an issue for me because I use an Ethernet adapter for my devices.
Real quick, let's look at the commands close up all together at once for SCUtil. First, let's understand that this is used to interact with the config.d and modify system config keys, allowing you to display the basic network information. As we saw earlier, when you run the host name, it spits out different output than what SCUtil does for the host name. The only thing that's different in these commands is just changing this last part when you want to do a get. Another way to call the computer name, you could run a networking function where you do network setup -get computer name. And I'll throw that in the terminal and let you see it real quick. When you're setting a new variable name, you just change the get to a set. You have to put whatever name that you want inside of it. For the host name, from what I read, just put the computer name inside for labeling. After you're done doing all of these commands, if you wanted to set everything up the same, for instance, if you wanted to set up a specific local host name, or if you just wanted it to be whatever name .local or whatever website or whatever, you could change that here. Upon finishing all these, clear your cache and restart the terminal. First run ds cache util -flush cache to clear everything out, and you'll be good to go. I did forget one thing I wanted to specify in the last video for the heading or like the decorators for the terminal. So we'll go through that real quick for like a minute because I kind of cut that out of the video when I was editing and I caught it after the fact. Here's the last little tip you see on the screen. Will SCUtil change your username on your computer? No, it doesn't have that ability. Anyway, that's the last of the video. I hope it brought utility to someone and might have helped. If so, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.